Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon The Insurrection podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Pardon Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up JoeBiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Insurrection podcast. Hey, this is D Knight.
This is Carol.
Wait, I gotta plug my phone in.
That too. That was Ty, and you're listening to the Pardon the Insurrection podcast, where we have no sense.
How dare you interrupt my ad-libbing?
Well, I thought it was background music. I thought you were like giving me the background music intro for the thing. No, that's not the case.
That could have been the first the
Can you guys hear me?
EGOT.
Oh my god,
girl, are you high? Hi, what are you doing? We've been listening to you this entire time. Of course. Wait, now we can't hear you.
No. What happened is I could see you guys talking, but I couldn't hear you. I had my earbuds in because I was in Walmart. But now that I'm at home, I had to plug my phone up. But when
you see what had happened was,
yeah, that's. And so I'm sitting and I go, and I'm swear I'm gonna be dead ass honest. I go, are these two fuckers talking about me? Is that why I can't hear them? They got some secret mute on?
No, we would never do that. We don't talk about you when you're not in our company. All right, let's rewind.
That function doesn't exist. Oh, let's just start again.
Yeah, rewind. All right, hey, this is D Knight.
This is Carol.
This is Ty.
And you're listening to the Pardon the Insurrection podcast. I think we finally got it right that time. All right.
No, we've only done this once. This is the first time. Go on.
Look, we time traveled. They're actually going to hear that blooper reel of the first time we got it wrong. I'm not cutting that out. Yeah. Anyway, as usual, it's been an insane, batshit, coke fueled bender of a week as far as the news is concerned. We're recording this on Sunday, and as you may know, there was a 60 Minutes interview, which I didn't even get to watch, which was apparently quite revelatory. We'll get to that next week. Sorry, guys. But yeah, let's start with the New York civil fraud suit that could bring down the Trump organization. New York State Attorney General, bear with me, people, this is long. The New York State Attorney General Letitia James filed a sweeping lawsuit Wednesday against former President Donald Trump. I hate saying that he was the president.
Tish came in and she was like, I'm going to make a really important announcement. And we were like, girl, please tell us now. And she's like, you have to wait till tomorrow at 10:30. And then she was like, it's going to be at 11:30.
Yeah, we got that delay. Oh, hey, and I did call it last week because I was like, hey, I wonder what it'll be. And it was like, oh, yeah, it'll probably be, some massive lawsuit against Trump and the Trump org. Hey, nailed it. Massive lawsuit against President Donald Trump, three of his adult children in the Trump org, alleging they were involved in expensive fraud lasting over a decade that the former president used to enrich himself. In a more than 200-page lawsuit, Attorney General Letitia James, a Democrat, alleges the fraud touched all aspects of the Trump business, including its properties and golf courses. According to the lawsuit, the Trump organization deceived lenders, insurers, and tax authorities by inflating the value of his properties and using misleading appraisals. Trump and his children, Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka, are named as defendants in the lawsuit. Alan Weisselberg, former CEO of the Trump organization, and Jeffrey McConney, another longtime company executive, are also named.
And other children of Donald J. Trump, former president, may have been named if he had remembered them and involved them in the business.
Look, Tiffany doesn't count. No one cares about her. Also,
well, that was lucky for her. It finally worked out in her favor.
Yeah, this is the one time it paid that she's the least favorite of the Trump kids. It paid off. James said that she believes state and criminal laws may have been violated and referred the matter to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York and the Internal Revenue Service. That means the feds are going to get involved. Hopefully, fingers crossed, and we can see some criminal charges. James said she believes state and criminal law, or wait, did I do that part already? I'm losing my mind. As part of the lawsuit, James is seeking $250 million in allegedly ill-gotten funds and to permanently bar Trump and the children named in the lawsuit for serving as the director of a business registered in New York State. That's not going to go well for the Trump people because, I mean, they're already in massive amounts of debt. And if they're not able to run their businesses in the state or within any banks registered with the state, it's not going to look too great for their financial prospects in the future. Anyway, she's also seeking to cancel the Trump organization's corporate certificate, which, if granted by a judge, could effectively force the company to cease operations in New York State. Oof. The number of grossly inflated asset values is staggering, the suit adds. According to James, Trump's businesses prepared statements of financial conditions every year to submit to banks and other financial institutions. The statement showed that the financial position of the Trump businesses, James said, and were relied upon if the Trump organization wanted to apply for loans. Each statement was personally certified as accurate by Donald Trump, Don Jr., and or Alan Weisselberg. Trump made known that he, quote, wanted his net worth reflected on those statements to increase, James said, a desire Mr. Weisselberg and others carry out year after year in their fraudulent preparation of those statements. As an example of allegations Trump inflated valuations to increase his own profits, James highlighted what she says happened with the 40 Wall Street, a property known as the Trump Building in New York City's financial district, which is referenced dozens of times in the lawsuit.
Hey, I worked in that building for a couple of years.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Was it a total dumpster fire of a building? Because I've heard
it was fine, but that's where Trump University was, and I was like, "There's something in this building called Trump University. I have to go talk to those guys." And I just like went down and fucked with them, and they're like, "Please leave."
Okay, look. As a side note, Trump University, even though it went down for defrauding its clients, okay, I've heard mixed reviews. Obviously it's not a real school, but supposedly teaching people their real estate tricks and stuff at the trade or whatnot. And early on, there was one guy that said, "Hey, I was there, and there was this professor. I can't remember what college he was teaching at, but he was like, oh yeah, he was teaching the course. And he was like, actually gave out some good tips. It was like the dude, if he had the money at the time, if he invested in the recommendations that the guy made, probably would have made a pretty penny. So, I mean, it's not all bad, but apparently it went downhill shortly after that. Anyway, Trump's company, I'm not on cocaine, by the way. I'm just talking fast because there's so much shit. I'm not Don Jr.
I can tell because your mouth is not trying to run away from your face.
I mean, look, I'm not so horribly disfigured to look at that.
No, he's just reading fast because he doesn't want me to fall asleep during this one.
We're
in 3 different time zones, and I'm late, and
it's a lot. Okay, Trump's company obtained appraisals for the property in 2010 and 2012, which found that it was worth $200 million and $220 million, respectively, according to the lawsuit. But Trump's company repeatedly claimed that the property was worth a lot more in its official financial statements, according to the lawsuit. In 2011, Trump's company said the property was worth $524 million, a whopping $325 million more dollars than it was originally praised for. He said it was worth $527 million in 2012 and $530 million in 2013. According to the lawsuit, which argued that there was not a valid basis for these inflated valuations and that Trump had falsely claimed these numbers came from professionals, quote unquote. During Wednesday's news conference, James also said that Trump inflated the square footage of his Trump Tower triplex apartment in order to misrepresent the value at over $300 million.
To be fair, nobody asked him whether he was measuring the ceilings or whether he could walk on them.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think that's how ceilings work. Mr. Trump represented that his apartments span more than 30,000 square feet, which was the basis for the valuing of the apartment. In reality,
but I went to Christina Bobb Law School and Trump University Real Estate School, so I'm pretty sure I have that right.
They didn't teach math at the Christina Bobb Real Estate School. Hey, wait. Christina Bobb, is that the parking garage lawyer? I don't think she's qualified to. Anyway, in reality, the apartment had an area of less than 11,000 square feet, something that Mr. Trump was well aware of, James said. She added, based on that inflated square footage, the value of the apartment in 2016 was $327 million. That's a shit ton. To this date, no apartment in New York City has like a $327 million apartment. Are you fucking kidding me? To this date, no apartment in New York City has ever sold for close to that amount.
That is okay.
Yeah, look, okay, this is what Trump did, right? It's like when you're trying to get a girl in bed and you're like, hey, I have a 17-inch dick.
Okay, that's not how you get me in bed.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like,
you don't want all the women to be afraid to be at your apartment. Because we're talking about that's the dick in this analogy, right?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if you're like, all right, well, you know, like, it's not like it was like, oh, it's actually 7, but you lie and say it's 9. No, it's like 3 and you lie and say it's 17. Right? Like, it's such an unbelievably...
Oh, wait, I forgot. You have a penis toilet. A big dick toilet.
Oh, yeah. One of those Matthew Whitaker toilets.
Big dick toilet. Big dick toilet.
I dated a guy once who told me that his dick was so big that he had to have surgery and had 3 and just taken off because he had put 2 girls in the hospital.
All right. Side note over.
Side note in things that never happened.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Look, he had one of those. He had a Trump apartment penis. Got it. He overinflated the net worth / net girth of his penis by hundreds of millions of dollars. Trump, who was also
Trump Tower was so big, we had to make it smaller. I couldn't do the voice. I couldn't try to do it.
You had to chop off.
I had to make my apartment smaller, so that's why James is wrong.
Oh yeah, so it was 30,000 feet, but it was too big for so he had to make it smaller.
Or maybe the other 20,000 square feet was invisible.
Hey, can you get penis reduction surgery on Obamacare? I don't know.
I didn't know that you could have it at all. At first, I believed it, and then I thought about it, and I go, that no.
No, because injuring or killing a woman is not an adequate justification for healthcare measures anymore. So no, it's not covered.
Okay,
according what would the basketball players do?
According to Wikipedia, penis reduction or penis reduction surgery refers to efforts or an assortment of techniques intended to decrease the girth or length of the human penis, especially when erect. So, I mean, I guess it's possible. The motivation behind such a procedure can range from complications such as macro penis. I don't know what that is. I've never had that problem.
I've heard micro.
So I don't have that problem either. I'm like a happy medium.
A micro. I had a friend who said her husband had one, and that's why she slept with everybody else.
Whatever you got to do to get by, I guess. Like, I don't. Yeah. Hey, what if? Anyway, yeah. If I don't know, if I was in a relationship with someone who had a macro vagina, and every time I stuck it in, like I couldn't feel anything, I just like trip and fall and land in there. Like anyway. Yeah.
I've heard of those.
We're seeking a sponsorship from the newest dating site, macrogenitalia.com. Well, we'll shop the name, but it's just for a great match between the macro penis and the macro vagina people, and then
well, there's that conservative dating site. They're getting sued. Yeah, look, the conservative website, the Right Stuff or whatever, is getting sued. Yeah, so maybe they can change their name to that.
Where we bring people together with macro penises and macro vaginas so that they can find their sexual happiness.
If you're tired of your partner's dick being too small, sign up for macro penis dating today. Okay, Trump, who is under investigation for a variety of alleged misconduct, election fraud in Georgia, financial fraud in Manhattan, his role in the J6 attack in Washington, espionage, obstruction, and more. But those investigations are all criminal cases, which bring within the burden of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. In the fraud case filed Wednesday, the standard is the lower one used in civil suits that require simply proving that the defendant more likely violated the law than not. And for that reason, this suit may be the one that finally holds Trump accountable for misconduct. Carol, can you give us a short description of the standards of proof as it pertains to the legal system? Like how does
in
that
general,
work?
what a standard of proof is? So
just in general.
it's the level that you have to convince the jury of something to which the proof needs to establish that. So more likely than not is exactly what it sounds like. If you think this is more likely to be true than it is to be not true, that's more likely than not. And then if there'll be higher standards for a criminal case, like murder would be like beyond a reasonable doubt. So you'd have to believe the truth or falsity of a statement, like to the extent that it's beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't know how to explain that part smaller, but
for example, so more likely than not would be like 51%, right?
yes.
So like in terms of beyond a reasonable doubt, how would that compare to?
I mean, there's always the issue of what is reasonable, and that'll be based on what the jury thinks. If it is what a reasonable person would say, that's a standard that people don't like.
Okay, that's fair. But like, if you were to give it a percentage, like number wise, what would you stake that percentage at?
I don't think that there's a percentage in this legal concept, but I'm gonna say 95%.
95% certain.
What do you think is a reasonable doubt? Let's do a Twitter survey.
Yeah, let's not do that.
What percentage is a reasonable doubt? Okay, move on.
Okay, Todd, do you think this particular case, the lawsuit against the Trump organization, will bring Trump org down, as well as keep their kids out of business for the foreseeable future? Should they be found liable?
I do, because of the other case, because of the Trump case, and then also because of the kids cancer charity case. They're batting for a lot. Whatever in New York courts. They are batting for, especially the civil courts, like. Because the numbers don't lie unless you're writing them in your trunk. But other than that.
I'm sorry. Did you hear Lara Trump being like, and then Democrats made that charity close, and like that charity, those kids could have had more money. Be like, so basically what I'm hearing is like, they could have kept letting us take some of the money and they were still getting some, and now they're getting nothing.
But
and she like threw her
she's
book
got
down
their dog charity. They opened, I think, when she was saying she was going to run for senator in North Carolina or something, but she opened a chair in her name to raise money for. I want to say that it's for pets, for dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, I think, and I was like, oh great, so they can now steal from animals.
You're stealing from the cancer kids. What enough?
They would steal
money from your pets.
Anybody.
Yeah,
I'm surprised if Ivana had any kind of fillings in her mouth, they're long gone. I had listened to this interview. It was a long time ago, and it was this guy was on a podcast, and he was talking about that.
They're like, "Yo, Poker, are her kidneys still any good?"
No, yeah. Well, what they were doing was they were calling up rich people, and what they wanted to see was who would bite. And they were saying, "Hey, you have some money, some unclaimed money or something," and they would send it out, and it would be for these random amounts, but it wasn't a lot. And then they said, when they got down to the last bit, I think it was like 2 cents. I swear to God, I bullshit you not. I'm gonna have to look at. And Donald Trump was one of the people, and he cashed that check.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Considering the amount of debt he's like, damn, every 2 cents. I bet he's like the only, self-proclaimed billionaire that stops to pick up change on the sidewalk when he's walking down the street.
I know he does.
He has to.
He does. That guy.
He'll never let a dollar go. Okay. Well, on to the next news headline. Because that one was
Lashana Torah, Carol.
Oh, thank you. Your resident.
Rosh Hashanah, Derek. Happy New Year.
I don't participate in the. Anyway, the special master tells Trump team that they fucked around and found out. Raymond Dearie, the judge appointed to be the special master in the espionage case in Florida, tells the legal team Trump's legal team to detail what Trump claims was planted at his Florida resort, even though the ex-president watched the search on video. Dearie, who was acting as a special master on Thursday, demanded Trump's lawyer substantiate another one of the former president's claims that the FBI planted records. Dearie ordered Trump's legal team to submit by September 30th, which is just a few days, a list of specific items in the Justice Department's 11th-page inventory of documents taken from the Mar-a-Lago resort, including top-secret files that plaintiff asserts were not seized from the premises. They must also submit a list of any items seized that were not on the inventory, the order states. The submission shall be plaintiff's final opportunity to raise any factual dispute as to the completeness and accuracy of the detailed property inventory, Dearie said. Dearie on Tuesday ordered Trump's legal team to substantiate his claims that he had declassified any of the files that he had taken. Trump's lawyers have not presented Trump's position on that, either in any of the either. What the fuck happened here? I don't know what I did. I'm trying to read this. I'm like, it's
not presented Trump's position on that in either of the legal.
That's what happened there.
That doesn't.
Yeah, I put either in the wrong place. Okay,
you
look,
did
man.
read what it said.
Yeah, I just read it wrong.
We're flying off the cuff.
All right, let's try that again. Trump's lawyers have not presented Trump's position on that in any of the legal filings. So the special master that Trump asked for has screwed Trump's legal team.
And so I don't understand. How come he how come he wanted to pay $550 an hour for this guy to come in and tell him what a big, stupid fucking idiot he is?
Because Trump likes to jerk off money in the most insane ways possible.
He wanted the DOJ to pay it.
That was never going to happen.
But the one good thing Eileen Cannon did was say no to the ex-toddler in chief.
Yeah, she said, I'm going to make you pay. You're going to pay your own master to own you.
I'm going to make you pay for your master.
You know what? It's insane. Look, it's insane that Judge Cannon even let him get away with trying to make this proclamation that, hey, Trump as president could have declassified all of these documents, but never asked him to state for the record that he had done so. Like, that it even drug on this long, that was batshit crazy. And Judge Dearie got the job, and he was like, all right, playtime's over, bitches. Did you just declassify this shit, yay or nay? And they're like, too late. And they were like, all right, did the FBI plan any of this shit? And they're like, all right, you're fucked.
I'm just saying, if I had a job where I had classified information and I could the authority to declassify it, like, that's the sort of shit I will 100% keep records on. You know, it's not like if they're like, produce those, and it's like, well, it'll take me a while to find them. Like, what? Why? Why don't you have that?
Yeah, you would think they would keep some kind of, record of that. Yeah,
so anyway, Dearie is not ready to. He's like, fuck this. I still have a career. I'm not going down for you.
No, absolutely not. Hey, what is the possibility that Trump actually, as he says, declassified these documents with his mind just by thinking about it? What are the odds on that?
The odds? No, that's not a thing.
No,
0.
He doesn't have magical psychic declassification powers.
100%. He thinks that he did that. Like,
he said that with a straight face.
Yeah, he said it like it was real.
He said it with a straight face.
It is real
because he probably tried. I have zero doubt that he tried. He probably tried to move them with his mind too, but
so he put his fingers to his forehead like Professor fucking Xavier, and like he psychically declassified the shit.
Well, they were using this circuitous logic to say, like, well, the very fact that it was here means it must have been declassified, because otherwise I wouldn't have it.
Yeah, that's not how declassification works.
That's in the real world, it's not. But the thing is that the biggest part that he left out, aside from the fact that it's not possible or legal, but you have to have a brain.
Like, if I only had a brain.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And that's it.
Well, I mean, what's to stop Biden from day one magically psychically reclassifying all the documents on January 21st?
I can believe it because I've seen Dark Brandon's eyes.
Hey, look, that's
I
the
know-
wrong X-Men.
I know what he's capable of.
That's
But
Cyclops.
the things that Dark
up.
Brandon has done with the slim majority that he has and the partisanship that's going on right now,
Yeah, some impressive
he
shit.
definitely has superpowers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he has a macro penis at this point. All right, next headline.
Hey. Okay, I won't say anything.
No, please.
He's circumcised.
Of
okay,
course,
I don't
he has a
actually want to know
massive
that.
penis. That's why the Republicans they all hate Hunter Biden. Have you seen any of those pictures of him? That they're like, look at this picture, and I'm like, oh, you guys are so jealous of it. Oh my God, he has an enormous penis.
But look how tall he is. If I'm gonna date a guy that's under 70, Hunter kind of is my type, but he's got those black circles under his eyes, so you know he doesn't sleep a lot.
Been doing a lot of coke.
Stuff. But
but they're like, look at him, he's going down a water slide naked, and he was at this fucking amazing resort, and I'm like,
yeah, that motherfucker was living my best life.
Yeah,
I was like, I want to go down a water slide naked and shit. Yeah.
Like, oh wait, was he on there on like a government appointment? Like, well, no. It's like, well, was he representing the country? Was he using campaign money? Well, no. But
no.
Like,
yeah, then like I don't understand. Hey, look, I know President Biden has a massive dick, and let me tell you how I know it's probably super inappropriate, and I hope no one important is listening to this podcast. Did you have either of you seen a younger Dr. Jill Biden? Perhaps.
Oh yeah, she was smoking.
I mean, did you see the ass on that girl? Oh my God! Like he had to be packing again.
I mean, she's still stunning. She is absolutely stunning. They are a gorgeous couple.
All right, the podcast just got super inappropriate. Let's go on to the next subject and get off of this before we. Yeah. Anyway, Ginni Thomas is apparently set to testify before the January 6th committee. Virginia Ginni Thomas, a conservative activist and wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas.
Are you dancing?
I can't understand how that relationship even works. It's so weird if you're like a white supremacist married to a black guy. How does that happen? I mean, I guess you can suck all the black dick you want. That still doesn't make you less racist. Anyway, Ginni agreed to be interviewed by the House Select Committee investigating the January 6, 2021 Capitol insurrection. I'm going to keep repeating that date over and over again today.
Well, you know what? Not only that, but she picked the blackest motherfucker.
I mean,
like, she didn't just go black. She went black.
Yeah, she picked like a midnight magic marker motherfucker. Anyway,
the guy, he is not passing for shit.
Carol, you can't make any of these jokes, so we'll do it for you. Anyway, a day for
I was going to chime in with like, also, I do not enjoy that man's politics and find him morally reprehensible.
Well, you know, Carrie, if you ever happen to be not married, you can get a blackety black mother. Anyway, a date for the meeting was not specified, but CNN reported that it will happen in the coming weeks. The January 6th panel also has a meeting, or rather a public hearing scheduled for September 28th. We're recording this just a couple of days before that. Ginni Thomas's involvement, I'm excited about that too. I can't wait. Ginni Thomas's involvements with the effort to overturn the 2020 election came into question when a series of text messages and emails to Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and other state officials were revealed in the media. A few months after the Washington Post report, the publication further revealed that Ginni Thomas also emailed Arizona lawmakers days before the 2020 election, urging them to, quote, do your constitutional duty and appoint, quote, a clean slate of electors for the state. Article 2 of the United States Constitution gives you an awesome responsibility to choose our state electors, Thomas wrote in the email. The revelation of the text and emails also immediately brought into question possible conflicts of interest for Justice Clarence Thomas, particularly for any cases that may come up regarding the January 6th riot. All right, we got Ginni Thomas in our sights. Clarence Thomas must be pissing himself. Is it totally absurd that Clarence Thomas may have the opportunity to make any rulings on any potential January 6th cases that reach the Supreme Court? Is that absurd or no?
Do you mean is the likelihood of that happening to be low? Or
of
course it's absurd.
It's absolutely going to happen. Is it absurd that he will have the opportunity to rule on those cases?
I mean, we live in a bizarro world. It's a very strange, and by strange I mean bad timeline.
Yeah, what can you do?
They have I think aside from, I think we were distracted by Trump's presidency while all this fuckery was going on in the background that they were setting up, putting all of these things in position. And we were so distracted by the shenanigans and the criming of Trump that they were pushing judges through. They were putting people in place that will rule in their favor, that will, running for political positions and stuff, these judges. So this plan was in motion. I wouldn't doubt if they had a powwow when he was running and they're like, okay, we just want you to get out here and we want you just to dance, monkey, and we're going to handle shit in the back. And Clarence Thomas was a part of that. I have zero doubt. Because all of this stuff just fell into place just too conveniently.
Well, yeah. Hey, what are the odds of Clarence Thomas having no idea that his wife was involved in a plot to try and overthrow the fucking government of the United States? Is there any way possible that he could have not known?
Not the way she was working, because she was doing a lot. Like at first it was like
she was doing too much.
She was doing the most, because at first it was like, oh, when the text messages, we were like, oh, not only is this bitch crazy, she criming and cooing, but
right.
Then we find out about the emails to Arizona, and she's emailing like 29 people. Then now we find out she's emailing people in all these other states. I'm sitting here right now trying to put my notes into Casa because they're due by midnight.
Uh-oh.
And how long is it taking me? I mean, sending out all those emails, that's work.
That's a lot of time. Yeah, Clarence got to come home from a long, hard day of destroying people's liberties at the Supreme Court to see his wife at home on the computer for 4 straight hours emailing.
That was foreplay for them.
He got to be. You mean to tell me like trying to overthrow the government gets Ginni wet?
My gosh, he comes in the door, hangs his robe.
No, leave the robe on.
Yeah. She's like, honey,
no.
Whose life did you destroy today?
Oh, God.
And what color were they? That's it. And then he tells her, then they get all randy. And
I didn't have role playing the Thomas's relationship on my podcast.
Is that the only wife he's ever had? No, he married a black woman, didn't he?
Yeah, he used to be married to a black woman and he traded down.
So he was married to a black woman. He's got a black mama. He hates black women.
To be clear, I wasn't saying he traded down because she's white. No, he just traded down to a terrible person.
To a terrible person. Yeah, she's just a lunatic.
Yeah.
She's just absolutely insane.
I mean, she's probably on Truth Social retweeting the QAnon shit as we speak.
Well, he hired that crazy girl that got fired from Turning Point USA for throwing the N-word around. Then he's like, come here and live with this girl. So she goes and she lives with them for a year.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know they lived together.
Yeah, she lived with them for a year.
So Clarence brought a little plaything home for the... Okay, that's... Anyway, all right, on to the next topic. Roger Stone confesses to advising the Proud Boys for years. In an excerpt from a book called We Are Proud Boys, that is a terrible... They got to do better. That's
they put 4 whole words, and they put them together, and presumably they, punctuated it well.
Judging by the originality and creativity of the title, I'm going to say that the interior of the book, I'm going to give as much credibility.
I mean, that's just... Okay, anyway, We Are Proud Boys. Trump's longtime confidant says he guided the gang's leaders through their political ambitions as well as their crimes. Stone has close ties to multiple Proud Boys and chapters, especially those most involved in Florida politics near his home in Fort Lauderdale, as he remains without a doubt the gang's closest connection to Trump's inner circle. And of course, he'd be closely tied to the Florida chapter because it's a dumpster shit fire show down there. In an exclusive interview, Stone gave a rare, candid look at his relationship to the notorious far-right street gang. If Roger Stone is... Look, I don't think
They're a gang of neighborhood toughs.
The neighborhood oath keeper.
Okay, look, if Stone, who is one step removed from Trump, is tied to these same people who are about to get prosecuted for seditious conspiracy, like how much wiggle room does that leave for Trump in the future? Should Roger Stone also?
Oh no, here comes Antifa.
Yeah.
So get ready to fight.
It's incredible.
It's
Oh
like
my God.
West Side Story, but with white supremacists.
I would actually watch that.
Can you see them dance battling in the middle of the street? That's what we should do. I should write the Oath Keeper play.
Like what? Yeah, hey, what kind of outfits will they be wearing? Like who's doing that?
Here they are in the street, and they're coming.
I've just got an oath to keep. Got to keep in my oath.
Antifa! Then it's time to battle, and the guy just throws his arm up in the air, and the Oath Keeper blocks it. Then he throws the other one up, and he blocks it. And then they start dancing like on
Proud Boys.
on
Proud
to
Boys.
Electric Boogaloo.
Proud Boys.
We got Turbo. We're like Breaking to Electric Boogaloo meets West Side Story. Yes,
you could win a fucking Emmy with this shit. Like
I can see it. Well, that might be the only movie that can get made once we go full fascist. And it's going to be state sponsored, and they're going to make all the kids watch it.
And nobody ever thought that Pardon the Insurrection podcast could win an EGOT, and yet here we are, well on the way.
We are EGOTting, baby. EGOTting. There we go.
What's the opposite of a Tony? Because we're gonna win that.
A Michael?
Yacht.
I don't know, a Michael?
Or Razzie. We're gonna get a Razzie. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. If I had, been tied to a gang of morons who were getting charged with attempting to overthrow the government, the last thing I would do is write a book detailing my longtime connections in mentorship of said morons.
Well, how old is Roger Stone? Because I'm thinking he might need the money more than he for longer than he thinks he's going to live.
Well,
not be in
that
prison.
That $2 million he and his wife owed. I don't know, was it the IRS? But it was a thing. But I think they paid it. What I saw was they went ahead and paid it, but it was some back money that they owed.
I mean, what the fuck is Roger Stone doing where they owe $2 million in back taxes? Like, I want to get involved in whatever money-making shenanigans this is, as long as I don't go to prison.
Well, you know how we hear about everyone else's grifts?
Because I'd make a terrible girlfriend.
We just hear about him, like, gallivanting all around white America and doing, his meet and greets with white supremacists and stuff. And crazy QAnon people, but you never hear about a real grift.
He's a political strategist, quote unquote. Forgot those people can't see my air quotes.
Oh yeah, because I'm like, where is he getting his fucking money from? He's got an estimated net worth of over $4 million, probably half that since he had to pay.
A lot for Florida, the crowd he runs with.
I mean, I have an estimated net worth of $4,000. So I need to figure out what he's.
They said $4, but that's more my alley.
I mean, I work a lot. On to the next.
I'm more in the single digits.
It's hard times out there. If we can make this an award-winning podcast where thousands of people download every week, maybe we can make an income and afford to have your net worth in the 4 digits. Yeah, multiple 4-digit income. In the future,
multiple 4-digit. My income streams. I've got $4 over here, and I've got $5 over there. That's my honeypot.
Well, we were supposed to suck dicks for democracy, but I mean, I guess we could get some money.
Damn it! We need to put that on a bumper sticker.
No, we're not. No bump. No, we're not putting that out.
I don't do bumper stickers. People can probably assume all of my views from seeing me in a Prius.
Yeah, I make all kinds of judgments just seeing you.
I didn't know you drove a Prius.
I don't want to make my hideous scratched up car ruined by putting a sticker on it.
A sticker on it.
Especially one where you're performing fellatio for voting. Yeah.
Fellatio for votes.
Anyway,
I think the center console in the middle of a Prius would make that difficult.
On to the next topic. January 6th committee gets
And you
access.
Suck dick in a Prius? That sounds like
I've never tried it.
And let us know.
Is that never, a confession? It's never happened to me once. The January 6th committee gets access to phone records of a fake elector. The congressional committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol has the right to see phone records for Arizona Republican Party chairwoman Kelly Ward and her husband Michael. A federal judge ruled Thursday.
The opposite of Tony.
I don't think that's...
Go on.
The subpoena from the House Select Committee sought phone records from T-Mobile between November 1st, 2020 through January 31st, 2021 for phone numbers associated with the Wards and Michael Ward's business, Mole Medical Services. Both Wards were among the Arizona Republicans who were fake electors and signed a bogus document claiming that Donald Trump won the state in the 2020 election. Yeah, if you can't crime together, your family won't stay together. How are we supposed to do that? I didn't do that right.
Mole Medical Services? That may is that a real place? Because I don't want to go there. Like, it's unless all they do is they're the top guy in town for treating moles. Or
I mean, maybe it's like a double entendre where they're like moles for like the Russians or something. I don't.
They're making like the slogan. I'm sorry, the picture slogan. What the hell are those fucking called? Icon, graphic,
picture slogan?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a picture slogan, Carol?
They're a graphic. The graphic, that's their trademark. Come on, man. You guys can't think of it either?
Wait, okay, no.
I would just like to leave you hanging out there because I was like, what the fuck is a picture slogan? I've never heard of. Okay, yeah.
Okay, their little picture for their brand is. Now I forgot what the joke was going to be because you wouldn't help me with the word.
It's because I'm a terrible co-host.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man. Oh no, it's like a picture of like a person on like a ear, with a wire in the ear winking, like
oh yeah,
mole services, Mole Medical Services.
Okay. Hey, look, you know this is a podcast, right? You can wink at us, but the audience can't see you.
Yeah, but that's why I described it painstakingly. While no one would give me the word logo.
It was such a good wink too.